I'm gonna need to traverse diagonally up this white one, and I'm realizing now that that was just way too many circles, but oh well, hopefully that you know where I'm going. Anyway, the first place that I kind of got stuck was getting over to this peg. I was trying to dyno over to it, and then eventually I realized that I can kind of lean, and I guess you could still maybe call it a dyno, where I'm reaching out, throwing that right hand at it, and then swinging and catching with my other hand. Took a few attempts, but that works out for me. Okay, then moving on. Here I'm checking to see if I can step anywhere with my foot, but I can't, so I'm just gonna have to swing up to the next one. One recurring theme with this one was there weren't too many designated footholds. You kind of had to hook onto a lot of the prior handholds to be able to support yourself as you're going up the wall. Here's another pretty big move. It's going up high. It's a really good hold to hang on to, but a bit of power needed to get yourself up there. Okay, and now I am one hold away from finishing, but there's nowhere left to go. So I've got my left foot hooked to support myself, and then my right leg is gonna be pushing into the wall, giving me power to reach up high to get that final hold. And matching that means we finish the route. Okay, thanks for watching, bye. This was the most fun route that I've done in a while. It starts off with a double knee bar, reaching behind your back, and then you take that double knee bar and just kind of like pivot it around 180, then reaching underneath to an undercling. It's up to a decent crimp, and the transition is mostly on my right hand that I'm hanging. Smear on the right foot gives me the power to reach out with my left. Then that right foot comes up for a toe jam that we'll talk about in a second, but that frees up the right hand to make the last couple of moves. Okay, so moving back to the start, just take another look at this double knee bar. It's such a fun move. It's so cool to just like turn, pivot around, and replace those knees again. And then as I'm moving through this undercling, my right arm, I kind of lock off and swivel around it, and then into a smear on the right foot, which kind of pushes against the wall to give me the length on the left side. The left leg is at a crazy angle too, but that gives me some support on the left side. And then this right toe goes up into a toe jam, wedging itself between the volume and the top of the wall, and that supports me just enough to get through the rest of the route. Okay, thanks for watching, bye. Okay, this one is a slab style route, meaning the wall is kind of leaning back away from you, and then there's a bunch of slopers on it, but they're not bad. They're kind of big, meaty holds.
Big, meaty claws!
So they really are not too bad to hold on to. The trick with this one is going to be more about balance and precision, staying on top of the holds, staying balanced, rather than just pure grip strength hanging onto it. And that helps a lot because the wall is leaning back, so you're not really stuck with an overhang where you're hanging off of it. The problem though is that there's not actually much to grab onto. So I'm pressing into these holds a lot, but I'm not actually able to grab onto much. So if I do get off balance and start tipping away from the wall, there's not much that I can hold on to really keep me up there. You see my left hand is flagging out hard on that top of the wall, and that really makes sure that my center of mass is directly over where my feet are stepping. And then give it pat, 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 and we're done. Okay, thanks for watching, bye. Okay, here's the blue one. It's a 2-hold start. One of them's in a pocket on the right side, and then that massive sloper that my feet are working up to now. Now, even though I've kind of got something to grab onto with my right hand, most of that tension is still locked up in my left hand, so I've got to find a way to take that pressure away. My left foot gets denied at first, so the right foot goes on top of the starting hold, and that gives me the extra little height that I need to hook my heel on, take the pressure off my left hand, and then reach up to a really nice jug. But here I kind of make a mistake. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do with my feet, but as I'm kind of playing around with it, my left heel slips off, so a quick recovery onto this little chip, and that puts me back in action. Now in these last couple crimps, I'm first going to reach out with my left hand, but realize quickly that my left hand's got to go even further out, otherwise I'd have to cross my right hand all the way across. So I kind of reposition myself, grab up with the right hand. That kind of pulls me up to be stable on the left hand. Then I'm going to quickly bump up with the left, realize that I'm going to want to bump again, up to the top, and then we're done with the route. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. Even if it's just a brief once over, it's always helpful to plan out your route ahead of time. Here I'm noticing that those 2 holds are really only going to be good with my right hand, so I'm switching up my grip, crossing it over so that my left hand is on the better starting hold, because it's going to stay there for a while. And the start here is going to be too compact for me to have both feet up, so I'm going to want my right foot on top, so the left foot has room once I've extended myself a little bit. After swinging the left foot over, I'm making the 3rd move in a row with my right hand, and that left hand still hasn't moved. It would have been a lot harder to do this if I had started with the left hand on the lower hold, which is a little bit worse of a grip. Not to mention it's just further away too. Now don't worry here, because my head is still attached, it's just that the camera wasn't over far enough. That's such a terrible joke, and my email just went off. Okay. Thanks for watching, bye. Very few holds to get to the top of this one, and that peg in the middle is going to be really interesting. Starting out, we're leaned over, and then there's an undercling where my left hand is that's kind of hidden by my body right now. After I stabilize myself, I'm feeling a little bit stuck, so I gotta reach down and put my hand on that volume. Pressing down, putting the weight in my hands so that it frees up my foot to be able to take a step up. Moving on, I'm looking to...
I wanna be the very best.
Oh, sorry about that. That happens every time I turn my hat around. Moving on, I'm looking to make a pretty controlled lunge over to this peg, and then there's this invisible box that I reach out and stand up on, just kind of testing it's there at first, but once I'm sure of its footing, I can stand up on it. Okay, I actually have no idea why I had my foot out there like that. I wasn't even smearing or anything. Now here I'm struggling to get my foot on top of the peg, and I ended up reaching up my hand over to the other side of my leg. I'm not really sure why that ended up making it easier, but I was able to get my foot on top. But from there, all I had to do was stand up on the left leg. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Got a silly one here for you today. 5 holds total, including the start. We got this big old trumpety guy, 2 on the sides, and then that little button up there on the top to finish. My strategy here is to perch myself on top of that start hold, and then work myself over to the holds on the right, eventually getting myself into a position where I can have both hands facing downwards, give a little hop, mantle up, and then I can smash a finish like it's the buzzer in American Ninja Warrior. But that felt a little bit too easy, and this one was too interesting, so I wanted to try to find a way that I could do it without using the ones on the side. Initially, I wanted to do something fancy with this elephant trunk looking guy where I kind of walk my feet up the sides, smearing along the way, and then I was looking to do like a heel hook, or at this point I'm trying to like maybe toe hook, maybe do like a bat hang and end up trying to work my hands up after that somehow. But in the end, I end up going with the tried and true strategy that they teach you in Bouldering 101, or probably, I guess I never really took one of those classes, but this is a technique that every beginner climber should be aware of. Get out your notebooks and get ready to take notes, because this one's called the fish out of water. Okay, alright, that was it. Thanks for watching, bye. This one's kind of a compact start, and then we're just going to kind of throw ourselves at the wall and hope we stick. On my first attempt, you'll see I release a little bit too early, so as I stand up on my leg, it kind of pushes me back away from the wall. These little crimps are what we're aiming to catch on. So I mean, literally, throw yourself at the wall to catch on this one. The holds are small, but there's enough to hold on to as long as I'm not falling backwards. So I've loaded up, and I'm not really going to let go until my left knee is just about to smack into the wall. It's just enough to hang on to, but releasing that late allowed me to be directly on top of that foothold, so it prevented me from pushing back away from the wall. My left hand also slipped off there, but it wasn't that big of a deal. To finish off this route, I've got one more foothold, and then I'm looking to make just kind of a little hop, little dyno, up to a massive jug that as soon as you get your hand on it, it's pretty secure. Thanks for watching, bye. The slopers on the middle of this one are awful. They're kind of flat, but leaning back downwards, so it's really hard to get a grip. You can see I'm kind of fumbling around, trying to find a good place, but I can't find anywhere where I can really rest my hand to give me good grip. I give up entirely on that first one and just start using tall person beta, where I reach up higher and just skip the bad holds. But even that wasn't quite enough, because that next hold is still really not that good. I still fall off as I'm trying to pull myself over. But all walls are on in climbing, and I got a tip to use this arrow, which is technically on, but even finishing this route using that arrow kind of felt like finishing it on a technicality, and I wasn't quite satisfied with it. So this time, by dropping really low underneath that top hold, I'm really making sure that I'm keeping my weight directly underneath where the sloper is, so that my weight is fully supported. You can see the straight arms are actually really helping with this. And then as I pull myself up, before I get to the point where I fall off, I end up just kind of lunging for that next hold and barely grabbing onto it, but it was enough to grab onto. And then I'm working my feet up and just finishing the route from there. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Slab is a style of climbing where the wall kind of leans backwards, and it's more about balance and control than it is about power and strength climbing up the wall. This one was especially interesting because it's more traversing across the wall than it is going upwards. Here I make a mistake and I put my right foot on the high hold there, which ends up kind of blocking my left foot, not leaving any room for me to stand on it as well. So I fix that by putting my right foot low and then crossing my left leg over the top as soon as I grab hold here. And that gives me the room that I need to be able to transfer my weight and keep stepping over to the right. You'll see me do a lot of those funny little foot taps because the holds are small and I'm kind of unsure about my footing, so I'm just testing it out to make sure that I can stand on it. And now here I'm as I'm... You know what? I'm going to leave that because sometimes voiceovers don't go as planned. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. Bye. So my last post was about climbers using completely unnecessary beta.
That one climber with unnecessarily complicated beta.
But the next day I ended up doing it completely unironically. To oversimplify, the term beta means the intended way you're supposed to go about a route, and if you're a shorter climber, I apologize for what you're about to see. So I figured out that I can reach to the final hold with the start, but campusing isn't going to be the way to go, so I start with a figure 4. This keeps my weight completely supported on my left hand as I reach out for the right hand. Then I kind of walk my feet across the ceiling, do a heel hook, reach out and put my toe on the volume, move my hands around, and then I just got to work my other foot out to the volume to support myself, moving up to the final hold. It did end up being kind of a struggle to figure out this beta on my own. I ended up putting myself in all sorts of wacky body positions, trying to hold on, trying to figure out what I could hook onto with my feet, falling flat on my back a couple of times. This attempt was actually a little dangerous because my foot got kind of stuck. If I fell, that probably wouldn't have been great on my knee. So just be careful if you're gonna goof around like I did. Okay, thanks for watching, bye.